Welcome to the Library of Awakening, hosted by CyberX, a space where curiosity meets courage and ideas come alive. Here we explore the thoughts that challenge, inspire, and sometimes even unsettle us, because growth often begins with discomfort. So, welcome to the journey. May this space inspire you to ask questions, explore the unknown, and most importantly, to awaken. This is the Library of Awakening.
Alrighty, Library of Awakening family, what is going on? Welcome back to another video breakdown. In today's video, we're going to be diving into the third eye psychology section in Library of Awakening within the CyberX Discord. And we're going to be diving into a read that I felt like was fit for the holidays titled Santa or Satan, the Fallacy of Christmas. And this one is relatively deep. I'm going to try to knock out at least 20 pages for you guys, taking a peek through the first maybe 1 to 4 chapters. As much as I can stand for tonight's read, I will get through with you all. But just always keep in mind that if you guys want to tap into these books, we have a whole bunch of Christmas related books that go into detail in the historical context of Christmas, where it really stems from, and just the deep nature of this holiday that is celebrated by the masses. Make sure that you guys you can head over to cyberxtrading.com and you can tap into these books yourselves. With that being said, let's dive into today's read. This book is called Santa or Satan, the Fallacy of Christmas. So coming down here, starting off with the table of contents, the fallacy of Christmas, the origin of Christmas, Santa Claus, mistletoe, the holy sprig, the boar's head, the Yule log, the Christmas tree, Christianity and the observance of Christmas, holiday in Islam. I want to get through as many chapters as we possibly can. I mean, this book in total is only 46 pages, so we'll get through what we can, but I want to at least get through 1 through 3, and then I definitely want to cover 8 and 9, right? So we'll try to tackle that in tonight's episode. So let's dive in. Where did the traditions, customs, and beliefs associated with the celebration of Christmas originate? Are these traditions in the Holy Scriptures? Did the disciples of Isa ibn Maryam, Jesus, son of Mary, celebrate Christmas? Exactly when did the celebration of Christmas start? Was Isa ibn Maryam, really born on December 25th? What is the purpose of the Christmas tree? Who is Santa Claus? Why is Christmas referred to as the Yuletide season? As we progress through the remainder of this book, if you guys enjoy these types of video breakdowns and these reads, do me a favor, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe, as it does help the Library of Awakening platform grow. We are trying to reach more like-minded individuals like yourselves. So it does do us a big favor if you subscribe and smash that thumbs up button. All of your lives, you have been taught to celebrate this paganistic holiday, yet you know nothing about it. It is time for you to wake up to the truth and start looking closely into your way of life. This book will prove to you just how little you really know about the things around you, and you should begin to realize that you have been placed under a spell of ignorance, mental laziness, and desire. It is only through the acceptance of truth that the spell will be broken. Well, it's almost that time of year again. You know which time we're talking about. Christmas. A time of year when people go out of their way to spend $200 to $300 on gifts and decorations. Why? To celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. Or so they think. Let's dig deeper into Christmas and find out the truth about it. Many of you have become so heavily inoculated by this drug, Christmas, that you may take offense when told the truth. But as the Prophet Mustafa Muhammad al-Amin said, speak the truth, though it may be bitter and displeasing to others. And Isa ibn Maryam, or Jesus, son of Mary, said in the Injil, or New Testament, Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. It is our job to tell the truth about Christmas and set you free of the lies and deceit that have held you in the devil's palms and the grip for years. Although Christmas is one of the few things that people believe in, it is nothing but a commercial season. It is sponsored and kept alive by the heaviest retail advertising campaigns of the year. Many people sit in the toy department of various department stores, mass catering as Santa Claus, and promising little children that they will bring them gifts. Ads keep you deluded about the beautiful Christmas season, while the newspapers who sell these ads print flowery editorials which exalt and eulogize the pagan season and its spirit. It should have dawned on people by now that the Christmas spirit is created each year, not to honor Christ, but to sell merchandise. Like all of Satan's delusions, Christmas appears as an angel of light and good, when in reality, it is a devil of darkness and evil. But Satan's job is only to deceive you. Many of you were taught that exchanging gifts during Christmas came about due to the fact that the three wise men brought gold, frankincense, and myrrh to the little Christ child. But face it, exchanging gifts of gold and frankenstein wouldn't suddenly make Christmas today any more meaningful. These gifts were appropriate during Christ's time because they represented value. The gold and power, the frankincense and myth were gifts one would give to royalty in that culture. And today, the American symbol of value and power is money. Now, how can money, the ultimate commercial commodity, be a religious symbol? So-called Christians believe that money is not really so different from their religious symbols in Christian tradition, just as they believe that water and fire is the symbol of power. And they will deceive everyone and his neighbor, and will not speak the truth. They have taught their tongue to speak lies, and weary themselves to commit iniquity. Jeremiah 9:5. Many of you are going to be shocked when you realize how false the whole Christmas bit is. On the other hand, many of you may not even care. Have you ever questioned from where the origin of Christmas and its customs are derived? Customs such as Santa Claus, the holy wreath, the mistletoe, the boar's head, the Yule log, the Christmas tree, the winter solstice, and so many more. When you were little, you were taught the idea of hanging up your stocking on Christmas Eve, and when you awakened the next morning, it would be filled with small toys and sacks or little boxes of candies and nuts. Beside the mantle, there was a tree, all decorated with glittery balls and tinsel. You've probably been taught that Santa Claus came down the chimney during the night and left all these things. But did you question what your parents told you? Of course not. Even though you knew you didn't have a fireplace, let alone a chimney, you accepted it and took it for granted. Very few, if any of you, have ever stopped to reflect on why you follow the customs and beliefs you do, or from where these customs and beliefs came. You were born into a world filled with customs, and you grew up accepting them without question. One of the greatest weaknesses that people have is they accept things much too easily. It seems we all tend to go along with what the next man does, whether right or wrong. This is a result of the spell of the Levithian, which was casted upon you. It is a hypnotic spell of spiritual and mental ignorance and death and deep sleep, which has shattered the high level of pride, supreme intelligence, and godlike nature you are heir to see. How and when did Christmas originate? If it is the chief of the Christian holidays, such as Easter, Thanksgiving, New Year's, etc., why do so many non-Christians observe it? Do you know the answer to these things? Did the original disciples who knew Jesus personally and were taught by him celebrate his birthday on December 25th? Did they celebrate it at all? Why do people exchange gifts with family, friends, and relatives at Christmas time? Is it really because the wise men presented gifts to Christ the child? Most people have been guessing at these questions for years, but at this stage of the game, we're going to cut out the guessing and get down to the facts. The word Christmas means Mass of Christ, or as it came to be shortened, Christmas. It is the chief custom of this corrupt Babylonian system and is denounced throughout the scriptures, its prophecies, and teachings. Christmas started in the original Babylonian Empire, ruled by Nimrod. The word Babylon is derived from the Greek word Babel, which means confusion, chaos, vanity, nothingness. Babylon, the capital of this empire, was the first major civilization and was founded by Nimrod and his followers. Nimrod was the first son of Cush, the son of Ham, who was one of the sons of Nu. Nimrod was regarded as his subjects, as the master hunter. Because of his shrewd cunningness, he was able to catch the most difficult game. In Genesis 08-10, and Cush began Nimrod. He began to be a mighty one in the earth. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. Wherefore it is said, even as Nimrod, the mighty hunter before the Lord, and the beginning of his kingdom was Babel, and Erech, and Akkad, and Calneh, and the land of Shinar. Eventually, Babylon was so powerful that the mere mention of its name transmitted awe and fear through the vein of every foe. During his reign, Nimrod became engrossed with the most dreadful of diseases: pride, ignorance, and greed. In Hebrew, a dialect of Arabic, Nimrod means "we will rebel" or "let us rebel." From the Hebrew word marad in Arabic, Nimrod is the same root letter which are found in Marad. Nimrod was a Cushite, meaning a descendant of Cush. Nimrod was in opposition to the laws and commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The system of his opposition was to control the Amorite so as to have them believe that he was the creator and worship him as the creator. Nimrod's name is interpreted as he who made all the people rebel against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. At first, Nimrod ruled Syria, Persia, and all of the Tigris-Euphrates area. When he became established on the throne of royalty, the rose grove of his prosperity and good fortune increased daily in freshness and magnificence, and the foundation of his greatness and splendor became more firmly established from hour to hour. Nimrod governed his subjects with justice and rectitude until expiration of a considerable time, when Shaitan, the unequaled champion in the art of seduction and predation, inspired him. Nimrod, with the diabolical suggestion of haughtiness and tyranny. In this sense, he, Shaitan, was called Merlin the magician. In the Holy Quran 14:22, and the devil will say, when the matter is decided, surely Allah promised you a promise of truth, and I promised you, then failed you, and I had no authority over you, except that I called you, and you obeyed me. So blame me not, but blame your own souls. I cannot come to your help, nor can you come to my help. Deny your associating me with Allah before. Surely, for the unjust is a painful chastisement. Merlin told Nimrod of an animalistic people in the Caucasus, dead deteriorating mountains, by which he, Nimrod, could rule the whole world. With depraved imaginations having found their way into the mansion of Nimrod's and perverted intellect, he overstepped the dignity of king in claiming the honors of a deity. He considered himself to be the partner of Allah, and eventually Allah himself. When this pride became fixed in his impure mind, he invited all the sons of Canaan, Amorites, Harites, Ecteria, saying that he could cure them all of leprosy if they would worship him and adore him. Having fabricated idols in his image and likeness, he placed them in temples and commanded the inhabitants of the mountains to worship them. In an attempt to bring the Amorite and all the other houses of Canaan together under one nation and one rule, Nimrod had an edifice built and his honor to prove to his subjects that none was higher than he. This edifice spoken about is the Tower of Babel, built by Nimrod and his subjects. Nimrod was so overbearing, it is said that he married his own mother, whose name was Semiramis. After his death, his so-called mother/wife, Semiramis, propagated the evil doctrine that Nimrod survived as a spiritual being. She claimed that a full-grown evergreen tree sprang overnight from a dead tree stump, which supposedly symbolized the springing forth into a new life of the dead Nimrod. When each anniversary of his birth, she claimed, Nimrod would visit the evergreen tree and leave gifts upon it. December 25th was the date of the birth of Nimrod, not Jesus. This is the real origin of the Christmas tree. Through her scheming and designing, Semiramis became the Babylonian queen of heaven, and Nimrod, under various names, became the divine son of heaven. Through the generations in his adulterous worship, Nimrod also became the false Messiah, the son of Baal, the sun god. In his false Babylonian system, the mother and child, Semiramis and Nimrod reborn, became chief objects of worship. The worship of mother and child spread over the world, the names varying in different countries and languages. In Egypt, it was Isis and Osiris. In Asia, Cybele and Deucus. In pagan Rome, Fortuna and Jupiter. Even in Greece, China, Japan, and Tibet, there is a counterpart to the Madonna made up long before the birth of Jesus Christ. During the 5th and 4th century, when the pagan of the Roman world were accepting the now popular old pagan customs and beliefs, they were merely dressing them up with Christian-sounding names. The mother and child idea also became popularized, especially at the Christmas time. Every Christmas season, people sung and still sing and chant the hymn Silent Night, Holy Night, dozens of times with its familiar mother and child theme. You have been born into such a Babylonian world, reared and steeped in these false things all your lives, and have been taught to reverse the things as holy and sacred. You never questioned to see where they came from, the scriptures or pagan adultery. In the Holy Quran in 98:1-6. Definitely not. They be those who cover the truth from the chosen people of the scripture, and the idol worshippers be free until come to them that between which makes it good or evil. Surely those who cover the truth from the chosen people of the scripture, and the idol worshippers and Jahannam, or hell, fire everlasting, eternal. In it, these are they, the evil creatures of the earth. So now you see, it wasn't Isa, or IBN, Miriam, Jesus, son of Mary, who was born on December 25th. It was really Nimrod, Isa, who was not even born in the winter season. In St. Luke 2:8. And there were in the same country the shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. This never could have occurred in Palestine in the month of December. The shepherds always brought their flock from the mountainsides and fields not later than October 15th, in order to protect them from the cold, rainy season that followed. Notice that the scriptures themselves prove that winter was a rainy season, not permitting shepherds to abide in the open fields at night. In the Song of Solomon 2:11, for lo, the winter is the past, the rain is over and gone. In Ezra 10:19-13, then all the men of Judah and Benjamin gathered themselves together into Jerusalem within 3 days. It was the 9th month, on the 12th day of the month, and all the people sat in the street of the house of Allah, trembling because of this matter, and the great rain. But the people are many, and it is the time of much rain. Consequently, Isa was not born on December 25th, when there were no flocks in the fields by night. On these grounds, the idea of the Nativity in December should be forgotten. In addition, any encyclopedia or authority on holidays and such will tell you that Christ was not born on the 25th of December. The actual The actual birth date of Isa was revealed to Daniel by the angel Gabriel. In Daniel 9:25, 70 weeks are determined upon the people and upon thy holy city to finish the transgression and to make end of sins and to make reconciliation for iniquity and to bring in everlasting righteousness and to seal up the vision and prophecy and to anoint the most holy of the holiest. That was Daniel 9:24. Daniel 9:25 reads, and therefore, and understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore and to build Jerusalem unto the Messiah, the prince shall be 7 weeks, and 62 weeks. The streets shall be built again, and the wall even in troublous times. This prophecy was revealed to Daniel because he was asking forgiveness for the children of Israel. The 7 weeks, 62 weeks amount to 69 weeks. These are weeks of years, and according to biblical calculation, it amounts to 483 years. This was the duration of the period between order to rebuild Jerusalem and the coming of the Messiah. Isa, or Ibn Miriam, was anointed the Messiah when he was 33 years old. By then, the 483 years were up, and Daniel's prophecy had been fulfilled. Upon the birth of Isa, a great light shone from the east in the form of a 6-pointed star. This star represented the Musa, or Moses. This star represented the 6 major prophets, namely Adam, Noah, Abraham, Ishmael, Moses, and the 6th was Isa himself. May the peace and blessings of all of Allah be upon them. Isa was the seal of the Israelite prophets. Mustafa Muhammad al-Amin was the 7th of the major prophets. He is represented by the upright crescent under the 6-pointed star. He was the seal of all the prophets. Let us examine 2 other arguments often used to justify the observance of Christmas. Many people usually reason that even though the exact date of Christ's birth is not known, we would select a random date on which to celebrate his birthday. The answer is positively no. Even if this was considered, why aren't all of the birthdays of the prophets and apostles honored when they arrive? Don't you realize that it is a sin to make a distinction between any of the prophets? The Holy Quran 2:136 reads, say we believe in Allah and in that which has been revealed to us, and in that which has been revealed to Abraham and Ishmael and Isaac and Jacob and the tribes, and that which has given to Moses and Jesus, and that which is given to the prophets from their Lord. We do not make any distinctions between any of them, and to him we are Muslims. So it is also wrong when Muslims exalt the Prophet Mustafa Muhammad al-Amin by honoring his birthday and not honoring the birthdays of the other prophets. This is not to say that these prophets should not be acknowledged, but that all other prophets should be acknowledged also. In the Holy Quran 33:40 reads, Muhammad was not one father from you men, but an apostle of Allah and the seal of the prophets, and Allah in all things was knowing of all things. Which of the men in the picture on page 15 here are Santa Claus? They all are. They wear different clothes and have different names, but they all are Santa Claus in different lands. In the United States, Santa Claus wears a bright suit trimmed with white fur, a long red cape, and a shiny black boot. In England, he wears the very same outfit, but he is called Father Christmas. Father Christmas was known for having a flushed face from merriment and strong wine. He wore a crown of holly on his head. It wasn't until the 19th century that Santa Claus became the white-bearded, red-suited, jolly old man saying ho, ho, ho. He was an American invention. In France, Santa Claus is called Père Noël, which means Father Christmas. His costume is a bit different from the one worn by the Father Christmas of England. Père Noël wears a long red robe and a white fur hat, and he clatters along in wooden shoes. The northern Europeans worship the god Woden, who supposedly rode across the frozen waste in the middle of the winter just to bring people presents. The church replaced the god Woden with St. Nicholas. In Switzerland, you'll still see another Santa Claus. He wears the clothes of a bishop and a long pointed hat called a mitre. His name is St. Nicholas, but merely Old Santa is not of the pagan birth. Well, he is. His real character is not so benevolent and holy as many suppose. The name Santa Claus is a corruption of the name St. Nicholas, who was a Roman Catholic bishop that lived in the 5th century. He is better known as the Bishop of Myra, a so-called saint honored by the Greeks and Latins in the 6th of December. He is really the patron saint of thieves and gangsters who were tagged the Knights of St. Nicholas. He is the patron saint of the pawnbrokers, and their emblem is traced to him. Pirates emblazoned his likeness on their flags. Other words of St. Nicholas are spinsters, sailors, and Old Nick, is a term applied to the devil or Satan. Even the color red that Santa Claus wears is associated with the devil. Red is a color which projects or encourages desire and evil. It is taken to represent evil. Red reflects the moods of a person dwelling on the lowest state of the physical plane. It is also the color depicting anger, sin, and bloodshed. The devil, or Shaitan, is always represented by the color red. If you have not noticed, Santa equals Satan. Among the ancient pagans, the mistletoe was used at the festival of the winter solstice. The winter solstice is the time of the year when the sun is further south of the equator, which is about December 22nd. This was the day on which pagans observed the festival of the unconquered sun. The pagans also observed the Saturnalia, which was also a pagan holiday or feast that was celebrated in the Roman Empire. It was the mythological god of agriculture in Roman mythology. He was overthrown by Jupiter, who was the god ruling over all other gods. The festival celebrated this occurring starting in the middle of December and didn't end until the new year. Much righteous merrymaking went on during this holiday. There were public sacrifices and everyone exchanged presents. This even went so far as to have a mock king represent Saturn. December 25th was first adopted in Rome between 336 AD. The Christian Church agreed to celebrate Christmas on that date in order to coincide with the paganistic holidays, the Yule winter solstice and Saturnalia. Eventually, Christianity overpowered the paganism, and many pagan Romans became Christian. The leaders of the church did not make any attempt to abolish these pagan festivals. They only changed it to Christmas, a Christmas festival, by giving it so-called religious meaning. This is when they instituted the lie that Jesus was born on December 25th. The merrymaking and feasting came from Saturnalia and Yule traditions, and the sacred, religious side was added by the church. Since they could not abolish these traditions, they simply used them for their own advantages. The mistletoe is also known to have played a major part in the rituals of the Druids. A Druid is a member of the Christian order of priests and poets who are among the ancient Celts of Britain, Ireland, and France. The Archdruid would cut the mistletoe with a golden sickle around November of each year. It was caught as it fell from the tree by virgins holding out a white cloth. Prayers and the sacrifice of white oxen followed. The mistletoe was believed to have healing powers to protect against witchcraft and bring fertility to the land. So I'm going to wrap it up here for the remainder of today's video breakdown. If you guys have enjoyed this so far, do me a favor, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe. I will finish it up here by reading the last couple of pages where it says, Christmas observance is a tradition of men, and the commandments of Allah, as quoted, forbid it. For surely man rejects the laws of the commandments that they may keep their own traditions. In reality, Christmas is for big business and corporations. The store managers are the ones who really get the benefits of Christmas, While their pockets are full, yours are empty, and owing more debts than you can ever pay. Is one day of pagan celebration worth a lifetime of debt? Keep, Keeping up with the Jonas is also a game, but put out by the devil to keep you in competition and constant vice with your own brothers and sisters. So, is Christmas really a day of holiness and worshiping the Creator, or is it a day of showing off and saying, I have more than you? The advertising of Christmas starts right after Halloween. From that point on, you are bombarded with slogans and ads on what to buy, mom and dad, and uncle and John. Nothing religious or spiritual is given to you at all. Department stores spend millions of dollars on massive display windows, ornaments, and decorations from top to bottom. Where do you think they get their money from to do this? From you. The fool who will pinch and scrape every dime, nickel, and penny together to make the Christmas as good as last year's. Besides seeing Santa Claus outside of department stores, shaking bells and saying ho ho ho, you see nuns and patrons dressed in blue coats, claiming to give you salvation. If you give them money to support their paganistic traditions and beliefs, and you being seduced by their Christmas hymns and looks of sadness, you become the victim of their schemes. Meanwhile, there is an answer. Brothers dressed in white, propagating the truth year round, giving you pamphlets with the total truth in them, and merely asking you for alms to build universities, hospitals, and communities where you, your sons, and their sons, and your shun and ignore them, saying they are running a game. Who is really running the game, as you call it? The devil really has you beguiled. Why is it that people who never go to church suddenly flock to Christmas services? Why is it that people who are not even so called Christian get into the swing of Christmas wholeheartedly? Isn't this hypocritical? Christianity is merely a tool used by the devil to keep you, the people, the man, the woman, and child, blind to your true heritage and perfect way of life. In other means, it is a means of slavery. So I'll let you guys dabble into the remaining portions and pages of this book. As always, you guys can find books like this and many others inside the Private CyberX Discord. There are thousands upon thousands of books inside the Private CyberX community in the Library of Awakening section. Definitely make sure to head over to cyberxtraining.com and tap in as we roll into the new year. Lots of juicy, valuable information. Remember, none of these books that I'm reading are the opinions of my own. I'm simply just reading text, scripture, and pages to you guys of vast amounts of information, especially in the coming videos ahead. We have so many more books to dabble into. So make sure that you guys are subscribed. Make sure that you guys turn on that notification bell, as we're going to be doing a video every other day and uploading them consistently heading into the new year. With that being said, many blessings to you guys. Be cognizant, be aware out there, stay awake, and I'll see you guys in the next video breakdown.
I know some of the perspectives that I share may be as challenging for you as they once were for me. But isn't that the beauty of exploration? Every perspective, no matter how unconventional, has something valuable to contribute to it if it's shared. Knowledge is not absolute. It's a living, breathing phenomena, shaped and reshaped over time. The important thing is not always be right, but to always be curious. Explore freely, share boldly, and learn deeply. And don't rely solely on others to validate your discoveries. Stand firm in integrity, even in the face of criticism. Remember that growth always means embracing the humility to admit when we're wrong. Learning from our errors is not a setback, it's the very essence of our progress. So, welcome to the journey. May this space inspire you to ask questions, explore the unknown, and most importantly, to awaken. This is the Library of Awakening,